This is the KRMG Afternoon News with Skylar Cooper.
It's time for the BA Breakdown here on the KRMG Afternoon News. Every Tuesday, we chat live with somebody in Broken Arrow to talk about the latest happenings out there in the city. Normally, it's City Manager Michael Spurgeon. He's off today. Sitting in is Broken Arrow Mayor Debra Wimpee. She joins us live from BA. Mayor Wimpee, how are you?
I'm doing great. Good to be back with you.
Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I wanted to ask you about a couple of things I saw around town. And first, I noticed this on the City of BA Facebook page. And of course, that's kind of a landmark of Broken Arrow there at Kenosha and Lynn Lane up on the hill, those big water tanks. I understand there's some work to begin on at least one of those. Can you tell us what they're doing up there?
Yeah, so it was due for some maintenance. I believe that water tank was established like in 1979. So it was due, not that they haven't done repairs, obviously, and maintenance over the years, but we've got about $1 million worth of work that's going to be done as far as like there's some roof replacement, repairing some corroded areas inside and outside of it, and then just safety improvements around the area, repainting, sandblasting, all that good stuff. So just basic maintenance. It'll probably take about 4 to 6 months to complete that work, but it holds about 11 million gallons of water, which is kind of crazy. And then little fun fact, there's over 650 miles of water lines that deliver treated water to homes, businesses, and those storage tanks. Like, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, in fact, I saw someone in the water department on my street today because I think something was kind of trickling. So I think a neighbor called it in. They're busy with any repairs like that and then making these big updates. Now, in that Tiger Hill project, will there be any interruption to service at any time, or will that parking lot where all the retail is, will they see any impact?
No, they shouldn't see any impact with the repairs that are going on.
Okay, good deal. It's Broken Arrow Mayor Debra Wimpee here on the BA Breakdown with the KRMG Afternoon News. And I wanted to ask you about another thing I saw traffic-wise. Mr. Spurgeon and I talk a lot about the roads and road work happening. So I saw where there are going to be some lane closures at Houston and Olive. That's 81st and 129th East Avenue. It looks like it's going to be closed for a while, at least a couple of lanes. What's happening there?
Yep. So this is one of the 2018 general bond projects, and it is basically going to have some sidewalk improvements, ADA ramps at the intersection. Some concrete work's going to be done at the driveway returns, new traffic signals, signage, that all those type of things, that improvement that's needed in that area. Then there'll be no left-hand turns, so we'll just need people to, be patient. It's going to be inconvenient for a while, but all of this, traffic improvement and road widening is, it's inconvenient while we're doing it, but it'll be amazing once it's complete. So if they can just be patient, maybe take the 71st or 91st, streets whenever they're going back home or going to work, then that would be help just to kind of avoid the area. They'll have a lane open for them to go through, but again, it's going to be, slow and construction, speed during that area. So just be mindful of that.
You mentioned maybe using 71st as a way around in the meantime. I think we spoke recently, Mr. Spurgeon and I, about the widening or some work on Olive north of 71st. Do you know when that begins?
I don't have that answer, but we'll get it for you, Skylar.
Okay. I know it was something we talked about some weeks back, and I'm not sure it was scheduled. I think it was one of those things they still had a lot of planning to do. But
we do have a really cool thing on our website, though. It updates you. We have like an interactive map that tells you about our street projects. So they can actually go on our city website and find out where we are in stages of road improvement. So it's kind of a neat thing that we've got going on where you can actually kind of see where we're at. Like, are we in planning, or, are we doing utility relocations, or, right away, where we are. It'll show you wherever we are on all those projects.
Last thing I wanted to ask you about is the Broken Arrow transit system. I liken it usually to like a local Uber, Broken Arrow's Uber, if you will. People can get around town. And before you came on with us, I told the story of how it's sort of expanded a couple of times since that initial pilot. And I was going to do a test ride one time, but my destination was just outside the boundaries. And I think there may be some, wider boundaries at some point. I know recently we reported on the hours being expanded. So what's the status of BA Transit? And I think I saw where some folks, or at least you, the city, want to ask the public what they might want to see in that.
Yeah, so Friday we're going to launch just a real simple 2-question survey about like their people's experiences with this the transit we launched it back in March of last year as a pilot program with 20 square miles. And then in the fall, we expanded it to 24 square miles, and we kind of expanded some hours that you could utilize it as well. And it's been utilized, like, I think it's up like 260 or 270% over the regular bus transit that we were using. So it's being utilized. I think in December there was like 543 riders that took, that utilized that system, which is amazing. So I'm guessing with the survey, we're just wanting to see, like, okay, so now you've had a chance to try the pilot out. What would you like to see? Would you like us to see it expanded? Do you want to see more weekend hours? And kind of that. What would be really great is if it continues to be a blessing to our community. It would be really cool to see it, be able to cover the whole city, right? To be able to get back and forth anywhere you needed to within the city. But currently, it's been a really great tool for our citizens to use. And I mean, the cost is basically nothing if you think about it, So it's been a really great program that we've been able to offer our citizens.
The program I know started with just a couple of vehicles. Do you think it will grow to the point where you need more cars?
Possibly. We purchased those with grant funds, so we'll have to just see kind of where we are and what the ask is from the community. And if it's something that we need, maybe that's something we look at and we budget in the future.
Broken Arrow Mayor Debra Wimpee sitting in for Michael Spurgeon, the city manager, today on the BA Breakdown. And we're out of time for today. So thanks for joining us, Mayor. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me.